Just so many books, so little time. Hi, I'm Anne. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing a book tag. I was supposed to get this video out yesterday because that would have been Tuesday, but better late than never. So it's not actually Tag Tuesday, but it's the day after Tag Tuesday. So close enough, I guess. But today I'm going to be doing the end of year book tag. This is a book tab that BookTube seems to collectively do at the end of the year, every single year. And I think I did it last year, but it was originally created by Ariel Bissett, and I was not tagged in it, but basically everyone I watch on BookTube has been doing it recently, so I wanted to do it. So it's a very short tag, so hopefully this video shouldn't be that long. So question number one is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? I have a few that come to mind. The first one that I've started is The Divine Comedy by Dante. I read the first book last month in October, and I want to read Purgatory as well as Heaven in the next 2 months. Hopefully I'm hoping to finish it in November, but I don't know if I will. The next book that I've started is Valor, which is the second book of the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. I read the first book, Malice, a few months ago, and I absolutely loved it. My husband wants me to read all of these books, and I have them all ordered from the library on audiobook form, and I also have the physical copies that my husband owns, so I'm hoping to get through at least this one, if not the other two ones, by the end of the year. We'll see if I'm actually able to get through all of them. And then the other one that I'm hoping to get done this month, because it is for the Black Hearts Book Club, headed by very literary Carrie, and that's The Hidden History of the JFK Assassination by Laumer Waldron, which I'm only about a chapter in right now, and I'm finding it a little bit of a dense read because it assumes that you know a lot of information about the JFK assassination, which I definitely do not, but it is very informative. There's a lot of information in that book. So those, I would say, are the 3 books I have started that I'm hoping to finish by the end of the year. The second question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? I think I've said this last year. I don't really have a book that I reread every year or that feels very autumnal for me, but I do like a lot of cozy reads when it comes to the fall, whether it's mysteries or things like that, but I don't have one book to transition to the end of the year. Number 3, is there a new release you're still waiting for? I don't really follow new releases. The only one that I will be probably reading soon that I think is supposed to be released in the middle of November sometime, and that's Peril in Paris, which is book 16 of Her Royal Spyness by Rise Bowen. I have read all 15 other books in the series, and I've read basically every book by Rise Bowen. I think there's a couple that I haven't read, but for the most part, I've read all of hers, and I love her books, and they're just mostly cozy historical mysteries, and I really got into her when I was in college the first time, so maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, and since then I have loved keeping up with her series, and so this is one of her series that is set in the 1930s. It's kind of a comedy about a very distant cousin to the royal family, Georgie, who now she's married, and in each book there's basically a murder mystery that she has to solve. And they're nice, light, cozy, and I assume I'm going to read this one because usually I read hers relatively soon after they come out. But besides that, I'm not really looking forward to any new releases because I read predominantly classics. I usually look back. I don't look forward as to what books are releasing. Usually I look at what books have released in the last 18 centuries, something like that. The next question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I don't specifically have 3 books I specifically want to read. I talked about I want to hopefully finish The Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne with the next 2 books in the series, and I started this one, but I haven't actually started these, so technically that. But I do want to read a few more medieval histories. That I started this one. I guess that would be in the one that I started, and I want to finish by the end of the year. But I have a few other medieval history books that I want to finish, hopefully by the end of the year or by the end of November. But I'm not planning on specifically, I need to finish these books. I did have a few classics that I was hoping to read by the end of this year that I talked about in, I think, July, the 20 classics I want to finish by 2022, and that's not going to happen. I think I read about half of them, but yeah, I will be moving those over to next year, and hopefully I will finish them next year. Is The next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I don't think necessarily, because I've already started a lot of the series that I'm going to be focusing on the end of the year. So like the Divine Comedy, I don't think that will be my favorite, but it was really good and interesting to read. Valor, again, will be probably one of my favorite fantasy series, but I don't see it being like my new favorite book. And I don't think I'm going to read like any new particular books that I will fall in love with and be my new favorite book. So no, probably not. Have you already started making reading plans for next year? And yes, as you can see behind me, and we'll be talking about this in a future video in the next month or two. But my big goal for next year, that is basically going to be my main reading goal, is to read all these books. This is all the books from my physical TBR. You can see them behind me, and there are, I think, 130 some books, and I'm hoping to finish them by the end of next year, all of them. And I have a few more goals, which I will be talking about in an upcoming video. But yes, I'm already working on my reading plans for next year, and they are, as always, very ambitious. And will I probably get it done? Probably not. But I'm curious, what are some books you're hoping to finish by the end of the year? Have you read any of these books? What kind of goals are you planning ahead for next year? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.